Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera. Saya Syaf Syukri dan anda sedang menyaksikan Fokus Minggu Depan. Dan untuk jam ini kita akan memberi fokus kepada satu tajuk yang menjadi tumpuan kita juga. Kita nak melihat kepada harapan gencatan senjata di Gaza dan bagaimana dengan adanya gencatan senjata ini akan mampu mempermudahkan misi bantuan kemanusiaan untuk mereka memerlukan di sana. Tapi sebelum itu saya nak bacakan beberapa laporan yang terbaru kami dapatkan di mana Finland akan menarik balik pembekuan bantuan kepada agensi kerja dan bantuan pertubuhan bangsa-bangsa bersatu bagi pelarian Palestin UNRWA, dan perkara itu dilapor agensi Anadolu yang memetik pengumuman Menteri Perdagangan Asing dan Pembangunan Finland pada Jumaat. Dan keputusan Finland itu hadir selepas Suruhanjaya Eropah mengumumkan bahawa ia akan menyumbang 50 juta euro untuk pembiayaan UNRWA pada awal bulan ini. Dan sejurus selepas Suruhanjaya itu mengumumkan keputusannya, Sweden dan Kanada menyambung semula pemberian bantuan atas alasan keadaan kemanusiaan di Gaza. Terdahulu, Menteri Luar Norway menggesa dunia supaya sama-sama menyokong agensi UNRWA dan berkata ini adalah masa yang salah untuk menghentikan pembiayaan kepada UNRWA. Dan UNRWA ditubuhkan Perhimpunan Agung Pertubuhan Bangsa-Bangsa Bersatu lebih daripada 70 tahun dahulu bagi membantu warga Palestin yang diusir dari tanah mereka sendiri, dan agensi itu memberikan sokongan penting kepada jutaan pelarian Palestin di semenanjung Gaza, tebing barat, Jordan, Lubnan, Syria dan kawasan-kawasan lain yang diduduki sejumlah besar rakyat Palestin. Dan seterusnya, Duta Besar Palestin ke Pertubuhan Bangsa-Bangsa Bersatu menggesa Majlis Keselamatan untuk mendapatkan gencatan senjata di Gaza sebelum akhir minggu ini. Dan Duta Besarnya Nicolas de Rivière bercakap kepada media selepas rundingan tertutup mengenai situasi di Gaza yang diminta oleh Perancis hanya 2 hari selepas rundingan serupa diadakan pada Isnin.
Diplomat Perancis itu berkata gencatan senjata perlu diadakan untuk Ramadan dengan menyatakan minggu kedua perayaan puasa umat Islam hampir berakhir.
The Security Council has been discussing this issue again and again. This crisis started more than 5 months ago. We need a ceasefire for Ramadan, and we are basically almost at the end of the second week of Ramadan. France, of course, wants this ceasefire. We want all the hostages to be released. No need to repeat to you that we have been condemning again and again the attack by Hamas on October 7. But now it's time to save lives. The death toll is above around 32,000 men and women, so I think it needs to stop now. So this is why I will encourage the Security Council to take action before the end of the week.
Sebelum ini, Presiden Perancis Emmanuel Macron telah mendesak gencatan senjata dalam perang Israel ke atas Gaza selama berbulan-bulan.
Baiklah, dan untuk jam ini, Fokus Minggu Depan akan meneruskan perbincangan mengenai harapan gencatan senjata di Gaza, permudah misi bantuan. Dan kita nak memberi fokus kepada beberapa proses bantuan kemanusiaan yang tiba di Gaza dengan menggunakan airdrop seperti yang kita semua tahu sebelum ini, dan akan bercakap dengan lebih lanjut untuk fokus kita jam ini ialah Nik Marina Hussein yang merupakan pengarah misi Karisma Humanitarian Outreach Mission KHOM. Assalamualaikum Marina.
Waalaikumsalam.
It's good to have you here, Marina. Izinkan saya menyampaikan soalan saya pertama dalam bahasa Inggeris. Okay, Marina, can we just focus on this? What are the implications and humanitarian consideration surrounding the recent airdrop of aid supplies in Gaza, and how does it contribute to addressing the urgent needs of the population amidst on ongoing conflict? Marina.
Okay, thank you so much for the invitation for this interview. When we're talking about the airdrop, you're asking about the contribution and about the conflict. Regarding the airdrop, airdrops actually should not be carried out unless there is a need to do so. And basically, usually airdrops are what we call the last resort. Okay, so when we say last resort ni, apabila when there is no other alternative, then only should we do the airdrop.
Mhm.
Because of the situation where there is no access into, as you know, northern Gaza,
Mhm.
there is no food going in, there is no supply of humanitarian aid, but very little, very little. Ada yang sampai tetapi tak cukup
Mhm.
untuk 300,000 penduduk di sana.
Mhm.
Alright, so the airdrop is the airdrop is only implemented in a situation where there is no other alternative actually. So that is the situation right now.
Mhm. Okey, Marina, kita nak memahamkan masyarakat di Malaysia khususnya yang masih mungkin tidak faham mengapa airdrop ini digunakan, kenapa tak pilih jalan darat. Kita tahu setakat ini belum ada uh, ceasefire ataupun gencatan senjata yang diadakan ataupun yang dicapai persetujuan oleh kedua-dua pihak. Jadi Marina, boleh secara jelas kita tahu semalam ada beberapa gesaan daripada negara-negara besar seperti Perancis yang menggesa agar gencatan senjata disegerakan, dan bagaimana Marina melihat sekiranya gencatan senjata sudah dilakukan, apa lagi penambahbaikan yang perlu dilakukan untuk membolehkan bantuan-bantuan ini dapat sampai kepada rakyat yang memerlukan di Gaza?
Okay, that's the importance of the ceasefire. Bila basically disebabkan tidak ada ceasefire ni lah yang kita tak boleh nak masuk melalui jalan darat. Apabila berlakunya ceasefire, the importance of the ceasefire is for number one, the killings to stop. Number two, for humanitarian aid to get into the areas with no disturbance, with no orang kata threat. Jadi what we need is we need a ceasefire to do those two things first. Alright. Jadi bila kita buat orang kata airdrop ni, as I mentioned, it is something which is the last resort. Because of the situation where there is no ceasefire, there is no access to the roads. Because the roads have been blocked, and even if over here there are trucks getting in, it is very few and it is very controlled. Jadi kadang-kadang berlaku truk masuk, tengok-tengok truk tu tidak penuh dengan barang disebabkan sekatan di sini, sekatan di sana dan sebagainya. So that's the importance of the airdrop is because we need to get the aid to come in due to the fact that there is no road access, tidak ada jalan yang masuk, dan disebabkan orang kata semua ini hanya because, as you know, disebabkan gencatan tiada gencatan senjata pada masa ni.
Mungkin Marina ada, sebab Marina merupakan pengarah misi karisma Humanitarian Outreach Mission ya, KHOM. Jadi mungkin ada cerita-cerita di lapangan yang boleh dikongsikan, cabaran semasa di lapangan yang boleh dikongsikan walaupun Marina tidak berada di sana ketika ini, Marina.
Ya, buat masa ni we have a few teams. Our teams in northern Gaza, in middle Gaza, and of course in southern Gaza. The ones in southern Gaza, alhamdulillah, we have managed to perform our aid, and we have delivered our aid until orang kata as late as last week, okay, where we distributed medicine to the people, and of course food in form of fresh vegetables. So what happened is the teams in southern Gaza, although the situation is critical and they are still open to attacks and airstrikes, they still function because the Rafah gate is accessible, because there are trucks getting into Rafah gates, but as mentioned, very limited. The number which is getting in before the 7th of October, there were 508 trucks able to get into access the roads through Gaza. And right now, it is less than 100. There should be at least 1,008 trucks entering the Rafah gates, but it's not happening. From 1,000 which is needed, it is only 100. So imagine the difficulty of our volunteers and our ground team to access those trucks that are able to get in. Jadi bayangkan dia punya competition antara manusia ni nak dapatkan 8 truck tu dan nak book, orang kata nak secure barang tu. So alhamdulillah, we have been able to move steadily and we have been steadfast with our teams in southern Gaza. Tapi lain pula yang berlaku in North Gaza. It's very different from what is happening in North Gaza. Northern Gaza, as we all are all aware, people were told to evacuate about 2 or 3 weeks after the war started, end of October, early November. So you saw the movement, the exodus of the people from the from the north to the south. However, the people in the north, not everyone can evacuate south. Not everyone can leave. Who are those? Who are they who did not leave? It's not 100% orang kata zero in North Gaza. As everybody is well aware, if they're not, there are 300,000 people stuck in North Gaza without any access or very little access. So who are these 300,000? Among them are the elderly who are immobile, okay? Among them are the people who cannot move. And among them are young men and women and children who decided to stay to take care of their parents who cannot move. So we have teams, for example, from our team of North Gaza, we have team A leader. I will just call him Ahmed. And I have our photographer who is Muhammad.
Baik. Marina, I think kita akan teruskan perbincangan ini sebentar lagi, Marina. Saya akan teruskan fokus ini bersama dengan Marina sebentar lagi kerana kita nak berhenti rehat seketika. Kita bertemu semula selepas ini. Baik, bertemu semula bersama saya Syaf Syukri dan ini merupakan Fokus Minggu Depan. Sebentar tadi kita masih lagi bersama dengan Nik Marina Hussein. Sebentar tadi juga telah panjang lebar menceritakan mengenai keadaan di bahagian South dan juga di North. Jadi Marina mungkin nak menyambung semula perbincangan tersebut, Marina. Marina tadi kita berhenti di mana Marina ada mengatakan bahawa di kawasan di kawasan South itu ada lebih kurang ribuan juga ya warga tua yang masih menduduki kawasan tersebut, dan implikasinya kita nak tahu juga bagaimana proses agihan bantuan menerusi airdrop ini akan dapat sampai ke wilayah-wilayah ini. Jadi Marina, mungkin Marina boleh sambung dengan cerita tadi tu, apa antara cabaran, sebab kita tahu di Gaza itu ada kawasan-kawasan yang berbeza. Kawasan ini ada penduduknya sudah dihalau keluar daripada kawasan penempatan mereka yang sedia ada. Jadi bagaimana nak memastikan bantuan yang disampaikan ini melalui kaedah airdrop ini dapat sampai kepada semua masyarakat yang berada di North dan juga di kawasan-kawasan lain yang terjejas di Gaza. Marina.
Okay, thank you. Basically, what happened is I just continue a bit on our team members in northern Gaza. Ahmad and Muhammad, they were stuck on Tuesday. We received news from them that they were stuck in the Al-Shifa hospital in northern Gaza, and they were surrounded by the occupation force. On Thursday, we were told that they were caught. They were detained with 200 other people. I'm not sure whether it's all men, but there were 200 people detained from the Al-Shifa hospital. So what happened is, Muhammad and Ahmad right now, we do not know what happened to them, but what we know is out of the 250 of them were assassinated on the field. Jadi, right now, northern teams, anybody with teams in the north, anybody with volunteers in the north, they cannot function. So the only access, as I mentioned, and as everybody is well aware of, is the airdrop. Macam mana barang airdrop tu boleh sampai ke kawasan yang kita nak? We are working with the Jordanian Hashemite Charity Organization, JHCO. JHCO is the only body that is allowed to receive aid and to pass that aid over to the Royal Jordanian Air Force. Satu badan tu sahaja yang dipertanggungjawabkan. Jadi kita kena pergi melalui mereka. Once they send it to the Royal Air Force, the Royal Jordanian Air Force, then the aid will be dropped. Now, where it will be dropped, the Royal Jordanian Air Force has already done their coordinates, and they know where it's going to fall. And as you know, there have been aid falling in the sea. As you can see, there have been aid falling in areas which we feel that are not suitable. So that was in the early beginning of the airdrop. Now it's already been 2 weeks since the airdrop. They have, orang kata, mereka dah improve on their coordinates. And inshallah, we are praying that our airdrop will reach the people in the right areas, and hopefully, inshallah, it will reach them safely and allow them to have at least some sustainability of food and hygiene, because we did give hygiene kits as well.
Marina, I have one more question because macam kita nak memberikan bantuan, pengagihan bantuan menerusi airdrop ini, kita tahu ada beberapa keperluan lain yang mungkin perlu diutamakan such as food, food and produk-produk hygiene yang berkaitan. Dan jadi macam mana pengagihan itu dilakukan sebenarnya, Marina? Cabaran melakukan pengagihan itu sendiri.
Well, kalaulah kita ada ground team kita yang berfungsi, lebih senang sebabnya kita, kalau if say the Royal Jordanian Air Force allowed for us to know which coordinates our drops will be, it will be easier for us to actually communicate with our volunteers and tell them to stand by at a certain area so that they can actually distribute it in a proper manner. At the moment, the airdrops is about who is near it. They have to grab it and they have to basically just get what they can. So it is a matter of survival right now. Kalau dekat South Gaza lain, kalau dekat Southern Gaza ni, the people are distributing it in a very well-mannered, orang kata organized manner. Dia pergi ke camp, tim kita akan pergi kemah ke kemah, tidak ada berlaku rebutan, orang kata dalam keadaan yang amat, orang kata very dignified manner, okay? But the airdrop, as you know, sometimes it hits here, sometimes it gets to the ground, it comes smashing to the ground actually, okay? It depends on the weight of the amount of ton. The thing is, at the moment, kita tak boleh nak kata, orang kata dia distribute evenly. It's about, even you can see over here, everybody's rushing for the aid over here. That is the, orang kata, kekurangan dia. Apabila berlaku airdrop, sebenarnya itu je masalah di mana kita tak boleh nak bagi satu kotak makanan untuk satu keluarga, satu kotak untuk satu keluarga. Kemungkinan besar akan dibuka dan apa yang kita boleh ambil, kita terpaksa ambil. As I mentioned, it's about survival at this moment.
Baik, Marina, mungkin one last question because we've been discussing on the importance of the ceasefire untuk memastikan bantuan ini dapat sampai kepada semua penduduk di Gaza dengan jayanya. Jadi, from your very point of view, I think I would like to ask you this question. From your very point of view, what role did international diplomacy play in brokering the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas? How do you see the roles of the international diplomacy boleh mainkan untuk memastikan the ceasefire would happen dalam masa terdekat? Marina.
When it comes to a ceasefire, as you know, United Nations, they have to have everyone agreeing. Every single country agreeing. There seems to be a situation where everybody is aware that the ceasefire is difficult when so many countries are backing it up, but as you know, certain countries are not. In this situation, until there is a complete ceasefire, it will be very difficult for the people to gain access to help. It will be very difficult for people to enter to help, and it will be very difficult for the people of Gaza actually to just move around safely. In terms of the international diplomacy here, it's all about I don't see an end at the moment actually. That's what is happening. I don't see an end at all actually, even though as we know, they mentioned that they want the ceasefire by the end of this week, which is in the second week of Ramadan. Actually, I heard the ceasefire during my winter mission, which was 3 weeks ago. We were expecting a ceasefire 3 weeks ago, but it has not happened. So there's nothing much that I can say about the ceasefire at the moment.
Baik. Baik, apa pun terima kasih sekali lagi Nik Marina Hussein yang merupakan pengarah misi Karisma Humanitarian Outreach Mission KHOM atas perkongsian tersebut dan kita menghargainya dan kita sebentar tadi memberi fokus kepada harapan gencatan senjata di Gaza, permudah misi bantuan dan apa pun kita mengharapkan agar gencatan senjata akan segera dapat dilaksanakan dan persetujuan negara-negara yang terlibat akan dapat mempengaruhi keputusan kepada pelaksanaan gencatan senjata bagi membolehkan bantuan dapat sampai kepada rakyat dan juga komuniti di Gaza di saat-saat yang memerlukan ketika ini, khususnya bulan Ramadan ketika ini. Dan saya rasa sekian Fokus Minggu Depan. Saya Syaf Syukri. Assalamualaikum. Salam hormat.